Hi everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So in today's video,
I tell my husband all the time that if a man approaches me while I'm out by myself and asks me for my phone number, I'm going to give him my phone number. And I'm going to give him my phone number not because I want him, but because I want to make it back home to my husband and my children safely. Some men cannot take rejection.
unfortunately, this is something that a lot of women go through like on a daily basis with men. I have experienced this, and I'm sure a lot of women have experienced this as well. Like someone asking you for your number and you saying no, and they getting angry, insulting you. It happens to a lot of women, and that shows that a lot of men do not cope well with rejection. Okay, some men will even go to the point of chasing you like for a long period of time until you accept their proposal of a relationship or something, only to hate on you the entire relationship because you turn them down, and you wouldn't know what you did to them. Okay, it's because you said no to them, because how dare you say no to them? So I get it, these things do happen to the point that people are unalived. Okay, so some women shared their experiences and stories of what happened to them when they rejected a guy. Okay, so I'm going to play some of the people's experiences and some responses to this video, and I'm going to come back with my thoughts at the end of the video. So without wasting your time, let's get into the video.
Y'all don't mind me. I'm getting dressed. That's why I look like this. But I really need to say this, and I really need y'all to listen. Since we are not talking about it enough, I'm going to go ahead and say it. A lot of the times, especially as women, we be giving out our phone numbers out of fear. Not because we really fucking want you people to have our numbers. Hello, I'm guilty of this. I have absolutely given out my number to somebody, either A, on social media because I'm like, dang, I don't want them to try and slander me online because I don't want to give them my number. Or B, in person because I'm outside at nighttime by myself and I don't want to get attacked because somebody's mad that I don't want to give them my number, so I have to be mindful. Oh, and before I have the stupid people that come into my comments and say that doesn't happen, there's a lot of examples this year alone of women who have been getting attacked, kidnapped, beat up, raped, and all types of stuff just because they didn't want to give somebody their phone number. So, I feel like it sucks that we're in a place where it's like we have to do things like this just because we're scared of how people handle rejection. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Rejection is a part of life, and some of y'all be like really fast, like what? Some of y'all really be confused, mind boggled when you get rejected by somebody that you want. Newsflash, just because you want somebody doesn't mean they want you. Wow, why did your mommy and daddy teach you that as a kid? And if you didn't have parents, well, hell, here's a newsflash for you. Rejection is a part of life. But you can't go around attacking people and slandering them because you couldn't get the phone number. So to sum it all up, when you guys get people's numbers, it may not always be because they wanted you to have it or they're interested. It might have been because they didn't know how the hell you were going to react.
I don't know if you guys have seen the video, which has since been deleted, I believe, about the girl who was explaining that her friend rejects a guy in a club and he proceeds to beat her up. That triggered such a memory in me from 2016 that I must have suppressed, because that exact same thing happened to me. I went to Nottingham University, my best friend went to uni of, and we decided we were going out for a night at her SU, so University of Trent's SU. We're going out. Now listen, my hair is massive. It attracts a lot of attention. It was red at the time, so obviously double attention, but also microaggressions. People are always touching my hair. I have to, through gritted teeth, remind people not to touch my hair. I'm not a dog, don't pet me. But also in uni, a lot of people haven't seen certain hair textures and things like that. They're ignorant to the fact that people don't look like them. So it's almost like you're a show to them. Anyway, we get into the club, and one of the first interactions that I end up having is a guy putting his hand into my hair and like grabbing my hair he's basically massaging my scalp, and I turn around to him and I say, get your hand out of my hair. He then turns around and he's like, oh, you look like you've got Ebola anyway. Racist, but fine. You're ugly, you're this, you're that. That's fine. You didn't think I had Ebola when you were literally massaging the oils from my scalp, but whatever. Anyway, don't see him again. Me and the girls are obviously vibes and having a great time. Then we proceed to go to the toilet. Now we're walking in a line, Harley's friend, my best friend Harley, and then me. I didn't realise we're walking past this same guy. Anyway, he stops in front of me. So the girls have walked on. They haven't noticed that I'm not behind them. And then as I step to the left, he steps in front as well. As I step to the right, he steps in front of me. Step forward, again, steps in front of me. He's not letting me pass. So I brush past him because I need to pee. This man's reaction is to start punching me in the face. Sorry, I'm laughing, but it's not funny at all. But just the thought of this happening almost 10 years ago. Starts punching me in the face. So he's punching me, whatever. Then he grabs my hair and he's trying to knee me in the face. He's around all of his boys. His boys don't do anything. No one in the club does anything either. And then he's like searching for like a bottle or something, but he's still like dragging me with him. So you can, I'm assuming bottle me. At this point, my best friend has noticed what's going on. She turns around and jumps on this man's back. She's trying to attack him from the back. She gets flung across the club, not literally, but she gets flung off, comes back, obviously tries to protect me again. I dropped my phone, my ID, everything, my bag. I've got nothing. The extent of the damage was that when I go to A&E the next day, they tell me that they said that I burst blood vessels in my eye. So my eyes were like bloodshot red. I lost a tooth. I think it was cracked anyway, but I've got a cap now, £250. I would like to be reimbursed for that. To the point where it was Halloween. And when I went back to lectures like a week later, people were asking me if I was in costume. That's how bad my eyes looked. Anyway, we get kicked out of the club. Can you imagine? We get kicked out of the club, and I'm saying like my best friend's still in there. Like, make sure you go get her. She's not safe in there, etc., etc. He gets kicked out literally 30 seconds later. He's literally 5 feet away from me. So he's again trying to start up. The bouncer's holding him like this, barely. He was like a Rottweiler in heat. Like, I've never seen anything like it. There's no justification for his reaction. I don't have to be polite by asking you to get your hand off me, off my person. Because if that was a man that went up to another man and stroked them, you two would be fighting. So I don't know why you think it's acceptable to do it to a woman. Anyway, luckily I got my phone back and my ID and everything like that. And I'm not someone that scares easily either. I'm not saying that's a massive thing to happen, of course, but I also back in the day, like, I'd never admit defeat. Like, I showed everyone that, like, oh, it's like a little thing, don't worry about it. I left uni 3 months later. Like, I was so uncomfortable in that city. I didn't feel comfortable being in like the city centre. What if I saw that boy again, etc., etc. But it just goes to show that, like, you could be doing nothing at all and you're still a problem, or you're still in danger. It's so scary. So and it's so sad to see that other people experience this as well. I think it's horrific. But when people sometimes say they hate men, there's valid reasons for it.
Take rejection.
I can definitely relate to this young lady in the video, because some people really do not know how to handle rejection. And I have seen some crazy situations through my lifetime where a guy could simply be asking for your phone number and he can appear very normal at first. And then you'd be like, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend. And then he just like, fuck you, bitch, I don't like you. And he started insulting you. And you just like, and you might say something back. The younger me would have cussed him back out. But luckily, I was able to not get in a situation where my life was at risk for cussing him back out. These days, things have changed. For example, was a story about this young lady on Old National Highway in Atlanta. And a dude was trying to holler at her. She didn't want to holler at him. He shot her. He killed her. Y'all remember that? It's so crazy out here. It's crazy that this is even a conversation. But this is some people's lives. They have experienced this. So it's sad, because I got little girls and I just, oh God, I fear like what they would have to do. And you can't even fake it and give them a fake number no more, because they will call you right there. Trust me, I tried to give out some fake numbers. They will call you right on. I'd be like, oh no, that's my business phone. I answer that one more. Something I have to come up with, which is insane. Y'all just be safe out there. This could be extreme and not the way you would handle things. But to me, the bigger issue is that it actually happens. People don't know how to deal with rejection. Be safe.
Hi, I'm Maggie. I think with this stitch, I think a lot of people have been kind of triggered by this, and I haven't been able to get this out of my head. So it actually just it brought it back up when I was just kind of watching all of these stitches. But I remember being in my hometown and going out for drinks in this club, and I can't remember for the life of me who I was with, whether I was with friends or cousins or whatever. And I got talking to this guy, and we were kind of having drinks together, and there was another guy who was kind of walking around. He was huge and he was throwing his weight around, and he set his sights on me, and he sat in between us and was trying to kind of come on to me, and I wasn't interested in it, and the other guy kind of politely told him to go away, and it just turned so violent. And because I said no, he went ballistic. And I remember he picked me up and he shook me like a rag doll, and I remember nobody did anything, and it was like the room froze. Nobody did anything. And the man that I was clearly with was terrified. I was terrified, and I eventually went to leave after this guy kind of threw a drink on me. He didn't physically hit me, but he shook me and kept shaking me. And I was really young at the time, so I was probably kind of 18, so I was really young. And so I left to leave, and a guy who I knew, he was kind of on the periphery of my kind of friendship circle and like friends with my cousin, offered to drive me home. So I suppose there's a slightly different element to this, but offered to drive me home. And as he drove me home, he drove me past my house and drove me to his house and locked me in, and I had to talk my way out of getting it out of that situation, and eventually he dropped me home. But this just goes to say that A, men are terrified of other men, B, men can be very opportunistic, and C, yes, people will just stand around and do nothing while you are in trouble and while you are being blatantly taken advantage of and in clear danger.
I don't know if you...
My ex on at least 2 occasions rejected men, and on both occasions it didn't go well. One of them, she started to get insulted, and on the second occasion there was a couple of men in a car, and when she rejected them they proceeded to follow her. She had to walk around because she didn't want to lead them back to where she lived. One thing I've noticed when it comes to these type of videos is that the men think that it has to do with where the women are or what the woman is wearing, which to me is crazy, because my wife was coming back from work one time and she was approached by a gentleman. She rejected him and he decided to touch her inappropriately. I don't think a lot of men understand how scary it is for a woman to be approached by a man, or the great lengths they have to go to in order for them to not be approached by men. I have noticed that 9 out of 10 women avoid making eye contact with men while out in public. I am not saying that there are lots of men out there who wish to harm women, but I do think it's important to draw attention to this so that men can understand how their presence could affect women. I think it is fair for women to take whatever precautions they have to in order for them not to be harmed by men, even if it means avoiding men who mean no harm to them at all. Because you could teach a gazelle 1,001 ways to avoid a lion, but a hungry lion is always going to eat.
What she said is 100% accurate, and it's sad that it's gotten to that point. I remember a couple years ago here in the city of Philadelphia, a young lady rejected a guy inside of a nightclub. He asked for her number. She said, "Sorry, I'm taken." And whether she was taken or not, he should have took no and moved on about his day. But instead, when she left the club, he followed her out, shot her dead 3 times to the chest, point blank. This lady was a mother of 2. She was engaged, had a fiance, and because this narcissist who couldn't take no for an answer decided, "You embarrassed me, now nobody else is going to have you," her kids have to grow up without a mother. Her fiance will not experience having her as a wife. This is why I say, ladies, get your license to carry, get a firearm, come take a shooting class. I own Advanced Concept Shooting Academy. One of the classes that I offer for free is Acclimation to Firearms. I don't need the money. This is why I offer that class for free. This is not to take business from anybody else. This is because the right to defend your life is your right, and 911 will not be there in a split second.
Yeah, when the First Lady talked about how people stand around and watch you, be like beaten or assaulted and nobody offers help is also another subject to be studied, because all of you were there, you saw this thing happen and nobody intervened, okay? And so it's just horrible out there how some men behave when you say no to them. I don't know why they feel so entitled to a yes, okay? So yeah, I get it. If you feel like you have to give your number out just so that you are not assaulted, beaten, even unalived. Like, I remember a few years ago when I was at university in London, I experienced it with some guys. They usually stand outside the train station at London Bridge asking people to help them with their charity. I give these people money almost every single day because I always pass there, and every time there's a new group of guys. And this guy, that particular day, he walked up to me, was like, "Hello, Miss Sister, you need to help us, you know." Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, not today. I always give, like, this is not the first time I walk past here. This is my commute to school, so, like," and can you believe what the guy said? He changed, his whole demeanor changed, and then he was like, "Don't embarrass me." My God, if like in broad daylight, okay? Now, these guys have told me they were gang members, and they used to, also carry knives and stuff like that. Like, what did you expect me to do? I had to quickly go through my purse and find money because I felt like threatened. Although nobody could like hear the conversation, I don't know what will happen because people are like some men are like that, okay? And I've seen like videos of women in trains and guys like just following them. Like, it's too much at this point in time, okay? So if it takes giving out your number to be safe, then I get it, okay? I know some women carry around 2 phones, just for the sake of, for that purpose, where when the guy asks for the number, he'll just give the other number, because most of these guys will ring you, okay? They will call like there to check if you give them the wrong number. So yeah, be safe out there. That's all I'm going to say, because these things are happening. Like the other guy said, a certain lady lost her life. Yeah, I remember back in Ghana, a lot of the guys over there also had this thing where, there'll be a couple of guys in the corner somewhere, and then they'll see you walking towards them, and then they'll be like, "Oh, beautiful, you're this, you're that." The moment you say no, they'll start insulting you, or calling you all sort of whores and how ugly you are, and so on and so forth. These days, I feel like my life is a lot easier because I have children, okay? Because when I pull out those 3 children and that pushchair, like, do you want to be a stepdad to 3 children? Like, can you just leave me alone? It makes my life a lot easier. Be safe out there. If it takes giving out your number to be safe, then I don't know. Maybe consider it, because these days I don't do eye contact. I look elsewhere. And thank God I have kids, because they are listening to the podcast, so they don't approach, most of them don't approach women with kids or multiple children, okay? When I have one child with me, they don't have a problem approaching me. But when I have all 3 of my kids, it's like, are you insane approaching me in this economy? Like, what are you looking for? So they just stare. And usually what I get is, "Oh, they're so cute, they're so cute." I'm like, yeah, whatever. You need to do better, man. You need to do better, because this is why a lot of women, unfortunately, say they hate men, because you can't take no for an answer. You believe women are just supposed to say yes to you. And the fact that what I need you to learn from all of this is some men will go to the extent of chasing you until they win you, only to show you that they hate you. So beware of that. But anyway, let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again with another video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.